Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is January 25th, 2018, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the economic events of the day, we're going to start out at 2:25 South African time. ECB, European Central Bank minimum bid rate. That's a interest rate decision that's coming out for the euro, and that should be a very important number, but it may not. Okay, because there are some things that are factored into the market, but it could really be a very big move today in the euro. And then at 3:30 South African time, monthly core retail sales coming out of the Canadian dollar. Not such an important number, but good to know that it's coming out. And then obviously at 3:30, we're going to have an ECB press conference that's going to follow up to the minimum bid rate that's coming out at 225. So keep an eye on that. But let's see what's been happening in the markets. So it's been really volatile in the markets, a lot of shifting, a lot of different cycles going and happening in the markets, namely that the dollar is getting weaker across the board. We're looking at the Euro USD here, 124.52, as you can see here on a daily chart, and we've rallied over 2,000 pips since April of 2017. So this is really a historical moment, and it looks like the euro is going to be making itself back to the 130-ish level as we continue this drive up. Okay, our next real resistance level is maybe 125-ish level. Okay, we're only about 50 pips away from that, so keep an eye on this as this continues its massive rally. Okay, altogether it's been across the board. It's really hard to catch in this type of moves because there's not really any pullbacks. Okay, if you look at here, we've had very little pullbacks since we've started. Okay, just at the end of December we kind of sold off a little bit at the beginning of January, but never breaking below this 121-ish level. Okay, so we've been in this massive rally up. It's hard to say what to do now. I mean, if you're long this position, I would start easing out of it. Okay, if you're short it, then you shouldn't be at this stage to be shorted. Altogether you should have covered it at 122, obviously, because that was a resistance level when we broke above it, and it just completely is trending upwards, and you never know when it's going to come back to 122, to tell you the truth. So just be careful if you are shorted. GBP USD as well, 143, get up there. Okay, we haven't seen this type of move in a very long time, but if you see here, they really gave it to you. Okay, if you look here at several locations, 1, 2, 3, we've continuously been on this sideways trending market. Okay, we've been making higher highs, higher lows, and it's just been channeling up. So the fact that this is happening is not a big surprise to me, at least. We've been mentioning that it's gotten much stronger, and it's right now trading at 143 up here, but our next resistance level is this 146-ish level. Okay, so keep an eye on that. But past that, we could be back into the 150s. Okay, and that's really a colossal historical moment for the GBP, where things in Brexit are kind of fizzling down, and some of the ramifications of that. And then secondly, the USD is getting so much weaker. Okay, for some reason they're making the dollar weaker, maybe because they want to show that they're on the long term getting a little bit stronger with making some of the goods and services produced by the United States a little bit cheaper and getting a little bit more competitive internationally. Looking at the USD ZAR, we called this. Okay, it's 1187, and it doesn't look like it's giving up. Okay, really falling out of bed here. And we mentioned it back when we were trading at 1242-ish level and 1220-ish level. If we look at a 1-hour chart, we see that it's beautiful downwards momentum. Okay, so the rand has been getting a lot stronger, initially getting that push from the elections at the beginning of January, I believe it was, and then as we've been continuously watching this, it's gotten stronger and stronger. So just keep an eye on this. The next real support level, okay, is you have to look at a weekly, and that's going to be at 1172 we mentioned yesterday. So keep an eye on that, for maybe a possible bounce as it closes in 1172. Aussie dollar as well, 0.81. Okay, so this is surely a yearly high, as we've seen this before, but could break out higher here. Okay, a little bit of a resistance level up here, so just keep an eye on this if it does correct itself. USD Japanese Yen as well, all-time highs for the year, 108. Okay, and we're broken this support level of 110, and we're inching in on our next support levels ish here, 108.74, and certainly 108 flat would be a good support level for the Japanese yen. So keep an eye on this, as this possibly will have some sort of a bounce. Now we're looking at the commodities. Gold, big breakout yesterday from 1350-ish level, breaking out to 1366. Now this is a resistance level. If we look at this at a weekly chart, we've hit this level several times. So I'd like to see some continuation here for this to actually continue going up higher. Now if it does get to these levels, we could definitely challenge the 1400 level, which would be colossal. That would be 200 points for the year. So it's a nice rally to make up for our big moves that we had back in 2011 to 2012. Okay, so this is a big correction for gold as we've been inching up higher. Looking at oil as well, $66 a barrel. Yesterday we had the oil inventories, weekly inventories number that came out, and you see there's not really, there's no entry point almost. Okay, there's no pullback for us to get in, and we're just making all-time highs for the year. Now, I've mentioned this several times. Okay, we're looking at a monthly chart. This could go up to $74, $75 a barrel. Okay, beyond that, let's just see and wait how that comes out. But at this stage, okay, we definitely have $60 as a support level, and this looks like there's a shift in the market. Okay, a continuation, and if it's going with this type of velocity in such a short period of time, it could definitely get into the upper 70-ish level, maybe even the low 80s. So keep an eye on that as that resolves itself as well. Now the Dow Jones, nothing, nothing out of the ordinary. We took a little bit of a break yesterday. We sold off to 26,000 from 26,200-ish level, and now we're just trading at 26,269. Question is are we going to continue going up higher? And the consensus is we're going to go up to 30,000. Okay, we're only about 3,800 points away from that, and considering the amount of points that we've done over the past year, it's not completely unspoken of. Now we may take a little bit of a breather for the next couple of months, but the general consensus is that we're going to continue going up higher. Now the DAX had a very strange day the past couple of days, broke out above its resistance levels of 13,500-ish level, but no continuation, and faltered quite quickly after the open, and then sold off below the 13,500-ish level. So although we've made higher highs in the DAX, no follow through, okay, which is really disconcerting for us, as this, if we're looking at a weekly chart, it just seems like we're making a double top here. So we may see a correction here and may see ourselves going back to the lower 13,000 range. So keep an eye on that as well. Looking at the JSC, getting up to our all-time highs almost, okay, 54,800. We're about 700 points away from our all-time highs, which is, very small numbers for the JSC. So keep an eye on this. If it does continue its upward momentum, remember the Rand goes down, okay, gets a little bit weaker, but it's not getting weaker, and the markets are getting stronger, so it's a little bit of a shift with the dollar getting much weaker versus the Rand, and the economy down in South Africa sustaining itself and consolidating itself and staying strong. So with that shift, you got to keep an eye on it, because the pivot points are going to be there. All right, so 55,500, that's our all-time highs. Let's see if we do continue up higher. If we don't, maybe a possible good short, as we've been trading in this range. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day.